Hey folks, welcome back to another video on this hot Friday in Germany. And a few videos ago I showed you how to synthesize 808 hi-hats inside of the grid here with this patch. This is how it sounds like. So I'm using here a few detuned pulse oscillators going into two filters and then a global filter. And you can synthesize this pretty easily inside of the grid here, and it sounds pretty legit in my opinion. But there is an easier way. So instead of using the poly grid here, we can also use just a normal subjective synthesizer like this Polymer here. And with this, inside of the FX box here, we are going to use a peak limiter just to make sure, and an EQ plus. That's what we need. Okay, so inside of the wavetable oscillator, we use here the detuning or the Unison settings. We use 16 voices and we use fat and we detune it all the way up, right? And then we open up the filter here so we can hear all the frequencies, and this is how it sounds like. Okay, and then we bring up here this ratio setting. And then we get kind of a metallic sound already. All we need to do now is to bring in here a bit of noise. Something like this. And then inside of the note clip we have different velocity settings here, so we can react to the velocity here with the expression modulators. We take velocity and let's say open up the decay setting or the release setting here a bit more, something like this, or we use a high pass filter here and we change the frequency with the velocity. Something like this. And then we can tweak here this with the ratio setting. And maybe we use this second envelope here for the noise. Okay, so now that we have this, we can maybe use distortion here on the master or on the output. We can also use voice stacking. So instead of just 0 voices or 16 unison voices, we add additional 5 voices. So each voice stack uses now 16 unison voices, and we use a stack spread modulator. Let's say -1 to +1, and then we detune everything here with the pitch. Something along those lines, and then maybe a high pass here additionally. Maybe more voices, let's say 7 or 8. Yeah, I think this sounds okay. Then we can cut everything here. Maybe bring in some weird places, some dissonant places here where we EQ stuff in. So yeah, and then you can tweak it here to your liking, make basically all kinds of different hi-hats that sound kind of metallic or in this direction. Everything you change in here changes the sound, obviously. Oh yeah, we can also detune the left and the right oscillator differently, so it's a bit more stereo. We can also use the voice stack or the spread modulator for this, so it's different on each voice stack. I think this sounds okay. Maybe here high pass, high cut 8. And in my opinion, this is probably better to sample this later on in the project, because for me, I got a lot of CPU spikes here. And that's because of the voice stacking. So when I go up here to 16, you can see it's really problematic then. I don't know if this is a bug or that's maybe the combination of my CPU and Bitwig. I don't know, maybe there are just too many voices, because it's 16 voice stacks, which 16 voices each. I don't know. So could be everything, but when I bring this down here to 8, it's completely fine. But you can still see here, it's a lot of CPU wasted basically on hi-hats, so you want to sample this properly. But you can generate this inside of Bitwig pretty easily and then bounce out some stems afterwards and then use that in your song or in your track. Okay, after this here we can use either, let's say, another filter plus. And then bring in here a bit of distortion. Maybe something like this. It almost sounds like a shaker to me. And then you probably want to bring in some kind of convolution reverb here. So it sounds like more like a real live object. I have already here some hi-hat tops. It's basically just a hi-hat sample, I guess. Maybe delete this here. Or let's say something very short, very tiny. 105 milliseconds here. Let's use this one. Yeah, everything helps, kinda. Then you bring in the rest of the drums. Could be nice to use here different settings. Let's see. Bring this down. So yeah, lots of options to generate hi-hat sounds and patterns. And like I said, it's probably better to just bounce this to stems or extract or bounce single sounds and then use it in the sampler. So you don't waste any CPU on that, right? So that's a quick tip from me for this Friday. I hope you like it. Leave a like if you like it, then leave a like, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.